Hello. Hi, Bonnie. I'm Lisa. Thank you for being timely. We have a few people who are joining us, so
Okay.
not everybody who signs up actually,
Yeah.
but fingers crossed they all do. I think there's like 8 people who signed up, so I'm going to begin shortly. I just didn't want you to think I wasn't starting on time. I'm just going to give people a few minutes grace to trickle in if you don't mind.
No, not at all. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. I will probably mute my audio and but keep my camera on just
Okay.
until I get started. But thank you for being here.
hmm
Hello, sunny days. I welcome to the information session. I'm Lisa. I was just telling Bonnie that there's quite a few people. I just checked my signups and maybe 10 people signed up. Not everyone might attend, but I do like to just give a little grace. So we will get started by 3:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just to give folks a few minutes to trickle in.
Thanks so much. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
Hi, Frankie. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm Lisa. I'm your host for today. Just
Hi, Lisa.
Hi. I just wanted to give a precursor, and I'll have to repeat this when Erica connects to audio. But there's quite a few people who signed up today, maybe 10, maybe not all will show up, but I typically delay the meeting or the info session to start a few minutes just to give people a chance to trickle in. So I will get started promptly at 3:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Times, just to give people a few minutes to get in and get settled. But thank you for being here. You as
Awesome.
well,
Sounds
Erica.
great.
Erica is with me. She's going to sign out so that she's not holding space in two places.
Okay, thanks for letting me know, Sunny.
No worries. No worries. Actually, Lisa, there may be another Erica. So I thought that it was the other Erica who registered because she was on, but she says it's not her. So we're here whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you. Erica is a popular name today. Well, welcome to the other Erica, or both Ericas rather. And I think it makes sense for you both to not be on just for the echoing purpose. So thanks for not doubly signing on. But it's perfect timing because now we will get started, or I will get started. Welcome again, everyone. If people trickle in, I'll try not to repeat myself, as you can potentially see from my Read AI meeting notes. This session is being recorded. I do share it with the group who signs up but cannot attend, so they will receive the link after, as well as you will receive the link just in case you need to pop out and miss something. You can have any questions potential questions that you had answered, but also feel free to ask questions after the fact, but there will be a follow-up email basically with that link. You do not have to be on camera. You are welcome to be, especially when we do more sharing or when I invite you guys to speak. But the purpose, again, of the recording is just to share this information with people who missed the session and might want to get the information, or a recap for everyone who can attend. So welcome on this. I don't know if it's drizzly where everyone is, but welcome on this drizzly Saturday afternoon. It's drizzly where I am. So I'll mention that, but it's okay because I had a lot of sun in Puerto Rico this past week. I just finished hosting a Lesbifriends retreat there, which was amazing. I'm actually really happy to be home though. So best of both worlds. I don't mind soaking up some rain because I had plenty of rays of sunshine. On that note, I would this session is interactive, and so I do like to meet the people and have us introduce ourselves to one another, as well as do some info sharing. So I'm not just speaking at everyone during the session. Also, it gives us a chance to get to know one another a little bit. Hopefully we will have the opportunity to travel with one another in the future, so it kind of helps us get to know each other's personalities or the types of people you might go on a Lesbifriends trip with. So I will open up the info session with a quick round of introductions for I can count 6 of us, and 7 because Sunny Days and Erica are together. The other Erica are together on their line. So we can all just introduce ourselves to one another, and then I will do some sharing and pause for questions and keep that rhythm going. Again, you don't have to turn on your camera. At least unmute yourself, please, when you do introduce yourselves. And I will start. So I'm going to start and I would ask everyone to do the same when it's your turn, to introduce yourself by sharing your name. If you have pronouns that you prefer, you can also include those. And if you can't talk, you can also put it in the group chat, or if you just want to reemphasize what you are verbally saying, feel free to put it in the group chat. So your name, pronouns, where you are currently calling from, and why not just share your zodiac sign? It's May, which is my month, so I'm gonna just be selfish and ask people for that. So my name is Lisa. My pronouns are she, her. I am calling from Washington, D.C., and as I just shared, it's a little bit drizzly today and definitely overcast. And I am a Taurus. My birthday was May 9th. I'm happy to be another year older. And yep, I'm a bull. So we can just volunteer ourselves, or I might volunteer you to go if you have not spoken up, but it looks like Frankie has taken themselves off mute. So I will turn the mic over to you, Frankie.
Oh, that might be me. So I'm Moye. I also go by Frankie. So I am a Libra. I am in Long Beach, California. It is overcast here, but it's also Pride weekend in Long Beach. So yeah, it's good times.
Great. Did you want to share your zodiac sign with us? Or did
I'm a very proud and happy Libra. So yes.
Oh, you did say Libra. I wrote it down. I'm so sorry. What is the first
No
thing you said that you go by outside of Frankie?
Oh, Imoye.
Imoye.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sure if you signed up to attend this, I have the correct spelling, so I'm not going to ask you to spell it.
Yes. So Imoye, she, her, Libra, Long Beach, California.
Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful. Okay, perfect. So for Marie, who just joined, and for the others who need a quick refresher, we're just doing a quick round of intro icebreakers. Your name or your preferred name, your pronouns, where you are calling from, and your zodiac sign, if you would.
Okay, Marie, she, her, calling from the Caribbean. Zodiac sign is Cancer.
Thanks, Marie. Welcome.
I'll go. So I think I'm the fourth Erica. I'm not really sure how many Ericas are on the call. I'm calling from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm a Pisces.
Thank you, Charlotte. Excuse me. Thank you, Erica. You're just the second Erica. And welcome. I guess you had a birthday a couple months ago. Or are there April Pisces? Or is it just
No, it's
March?
February and March.
Got it. Okay, you're a March. Are you a March Pisces or a February Pisces?
I am a March Pisces certified.
Certified. Okay. I'm learning a little bit about Pisces. So that's good to know. I might gauge your personality, as this is a new sign for me. But welcome, Erica. And you're just number two. You're the first Erica, of course, because you're number one, but you are you are one of two Ericas on the call.
Very good. Very good.
And thank you for that introduction. Ooh, Bonnie has unmuted themselves, so I assume they want to go next.
Okay, my name is Bonnie. I'm calling from Maryland, and I am a January Aquarius, and my pronouns are she, her.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Bonnie. And last but not least, sunny days, if that's what you go by, and the Erica that is with you over there.
Hi, Bonnie. You look so pretty today. She's my friend, so I can give her a shout out. I do go by Tanisha generally when I'm not incognito under sunny days. I am a Leo. I live in Maryland also. Erica is an Aries, and she lives in Maryland too. I think that was everything we were supposed to share.
Yep, perfect. Thank you guys. So efficient and succinct. I appreciate that. Perfect. You guys did that beautifully. Well, welcome everyone. Yay, I love to see people know each other who are on the info session. That means you might be wanting to go on a trip together. I welcome it. This last trip that literally just got back from at 9 p.m. last night, there were a lot of new. I'd probably say that like maybe 60% of the group of 20 persons who came were new, and a lot were solo travelers, but I think it's also a lot of fun when people who know each other can travel together as well. It's always a good group. Maybe I'm a little biased, but I just feel like energy attracts. So on all of these trips that I've done over the years, it's been just a really good group of people, whether they're new, seasoned, one-timers, repeat. But I'm sure Bonnie, Sunny, and Erica, you guys are good people attracting one another. So I'm happy to have you to the group today, as I am Imoye, Marie, and the other Erica. Not the other Erica, but Erica. So I will start the info sharing. It might not take a full hour and a half. I just like to allot time for questions and answers, as well as be able to get through all of the upcoming trips. There's only 4 trips left actually 5 trips left for this year that I will be presenting today. So we might get through it more quickly, especially if there are trips that people aren't as interested in learning about. But I will go through them all because when you guys did register, there was everybody said they were interested, at least one person said they were interested in each trip. So I'm going to try to share all of that I'm going to share that information for each trip. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen right now, and I'm hopeful that you are seeing a screen that says Lesbifriends Travel.
Yes.
Thank you. I have two screens up. Sometimes Zoom does not work in my favor, so thank you for that. If by chance my slides do not progress and sync up with what I'm saying, if you wouldn't just mind raising your hand, you don't even have to raise your hand. You can unmute yourself and just say, "Hey, Lisa, you're talking about Virginia, and we're on Thailand," and just let me know and I'll refresh my screen. Thank you in advance. Okay, so I like to start off, of course, just by sharing a little information about the company, the group, if you will, and then we'll get into the trip specifics. So, of course, you guys know you are here for Lesbifriends Travel. I like to say that I try my best to offer for the company to offer exclusive and affordable travel opportunities for queer people of color, which I've been doing since 2011. This has not been a travel business for me or for the group since 2011. I'll get into that in a minute or two, but we have been traveling together since 2011. So we have probably I think just under 20 trips under our belt at this time, and many more to come. So a little bit more about the group. And I like to call it a group. It is a company, right? It was an LLC, just transitioned to an S Corp because my tax advisor told me to, as I grow. But it's more of a group, it's more of a community. So I wear multiple hats, as someone who goes on the trips and participates, but also plans the things and curates these experiences. But we're more than just a company. Again, we are a community. The goal is my goal from the jump has been to create community for myself. So I actually started by hosting trips in my 1-bedroom apartment back in 2010/11 when I graduated from law school. And I just wanted community after not having a life after a few years, and also just being actually new in the community. I never identified as a lesbian or gay prior to that, and I was coming into my own, and I was just seeking that in the form of conversation, game nights, hanging out with people and trying new places around the city. I wasn't really a club person, still am not. And so I kind of just created what I was seeking at the time. That expanded because while it was great to have like a 4-hour get together on a Saturday night every other month, people wanted a little bit more, and that naturally transitioned into a annual winter trip, and then added a couple summer trips to the mix. Last year was the first year I took a group of people internationally, and we did 2 international trips last year. This year we are shooting for 6 international trips and a couple of domestic, and hopefully we'll grow every year as I figure out what's the perfect mix. But we are only going to get bigger, maybe not bigger trips, but, bigger as a group. So I'm happy to share this opportunity with everyone. A little bit about me, so you know who you might be doing the business portion with. I don't do it alone, so I do have help, but this is my baby, right? This is my passion project, or my group that I curated. So just so you feel it, just so you know you're in good hands. I have done some traveling myself, which is why I feel pretty equipped to plan travel excursions for people. All of my travel has been for personal reasons. Unfortunately, no job has ever sent me out of the country. I've just been able to send myself. And so I've traveled to over 50 countries. And I'm hoping to make that even more states this year domestically, because there's a lot of great places to travel in the States. By day, I'm a lawyer. I work for the federal government. And so, you know, besides just having a legit company, just know that you're safe. I'm not going to do you wrong. I'm a meticulous person. I'm definitely a planner, very organized, and I like to bring that on all of the things that I do in life, personally and professionally. So promise that you are in good hands if you come on a trip with Lesbifriends. A little bit about what the experience you're going to get if you come on a trip. Of course, Lesbifriends Travel is not the only queer travel group. I would love to support them all. I've even been on a trip with another queer travel group and other travel groups. It's nice to just be a participant sometimes. But I do try to set Lesbifriends apart and offer just the type of travel experience I would like personally. So whenever you go on a Lesbifriends trip, you're going to get a tailored travel guide specific to, you know, identifying as an LGBTQ plus person. And so you know what's going to happen not only on the trip, but in the places that we are traveling to. Sometimes you don't want to do your own research. I get it. I actually live for that stuff. I like to I have a spreadsheet for everything, including today's session. So I like to just share the information proactively with the people who come on the trips. So you're gonna get all that up front if you come on a trip. Sometimes I understand people are nervous about packing, so I do create packing lists specific for the destinations that we're going. And then sometimes there are just theme nights. And so you need to know, you know, to show up in all white or maybe your rainbow colors. We've had like a pride picnic or a pride night before. We on this wellness retreat that, again, I literally just came back from yesterday. We did a lot of coordinating with chakras. And so we, on certain days, we wore certain chakra colors, which was really fun. So just little stuff like that you're going to get. In addition to like this info session, where you learn about all the trips. When you do sign up for a specific trip, I'm now facilitating about a month before the trip, especially for international trips. If it's a domestic trip, like the Virginia trip, it might be closer to the time of the trip, but there is a info session dedicated to that trip. I'm calling it a virtual meet info session. So you get a chance to be on camera with 20 people that you are about to be in a, you know, an intimate-ish space with, and do icebreakers, learn, you know, more, be able to ask questions about that trip. We'll go through the itinerary. And maybe you'll be able to meet your roommate if you selected to come alone but wanted roommate matching. You could see them in person potentially, or virtually rather. And then we also do pre-group chat groups, during, and post-group chat groups. So I create a chat group on WhatsApp, invite all the people on the trip to engage in that. It's a lot of fun before the trip, getting to know one another. On the trip, it's a way to disseminate information in real time. And then post-trip, people are definitely using that to connect and stay in touch. And I just hosted a trip to South Africa for 20 people in April, and we came back, I think, on the 20th. And there were it was really random, but there were several people from the DMV area, and then DC metro area, and then there were a good handful of people from Texas, and there are people. Even though it's just a month out of that trip, there were people from DC visiting Texas this past weekend, and then there are people from Texas coming to DC Black Pride and this upcoming weekend. So it's really nice to see those bonds created with, you know, when people are strangers initially, and just keep that energy going. Another thing I do offer is roommate matching. So as you might know, if you share a room with someone, it might be a little bit more cost effective / cheaper to travel. And so if you are coming alone and you don't mind a roommate, sometimes it's nice just to have a built-in travel buddy. I send out a survey ahead of time, and so I can me and my team can gauge your personality, your preferences, and then I match you with someone who is a like-minded traveler, and then I make that introduction before the trip so you guys can get to know one another potentially. And then Lesbifriends also offers specific events for fellow travelers. Last year I was able to have a holiday party right before Christmas, and people who had signed up for trips or who had been on trips before could come to this party. It was just by invite only. I even let them bring a friend if they wanted to introduce someone to the group who might be interested in traveling with the group, and a way to meet people that you were going to go to on an upcoming trip with, and reconnect with maybe people that you've traveled with before. So we also offer those type of unique events. And then last but not least, before we get into the specifics of the first trip, what's included and what's not included, I just like to give an overview. This is typically for all trips up front. You'll get this information on the website as well, but the accommodations are always going to be included on the trips. So you don't have to worry about those. I do try to tell people what the accommodations are going to be ahead of time, so you are aware. Some trips we stay in a villa, like in Puerto Rico, we wanted that separate space. It was nice to be able to have a house, a 10-bedroom house, all to our own. People got topless in the pool. People got topless a lot. So it was, and I'm not advertising that is what all trips are about or encompass, but you know, it was a wellness retreat. People wanted to be in the most comfortable setting for them. And so it's nice to have a space that's all of our own, but sometimes we stay at hotels or boutique hotels. And so we will not have that space all to ourselves, but it might come with other amenities that you would get, you know, from staying in those places. But accommodations are always included. Daily breakfasts are always included. And then depending on the trips, some lunches and some dinners are included. Again, each of the trips will detail that. Any activities and excursions that you see on a trip itinerary are included. There are going to be free time. There's going to be free time built into all trips, maybe even a whole free day where you can explore on your own. I do like to offer some additional things you can do to build onto your trip if you don't want to do the research or the planning yourself. So you can add those in for an additional cost. Up until like a month before the trip. You will always be able to connect with like-minded queer people of color. We do a really cool swag bag catered towards each trip. Again, the travel guide. And then on every trip, there's going to be someone on the ground to, we're not just going to send you into the wild by yourself. There's going to be myself or someone from the team who's gonna make sure you have, that you are ushered and the trip just goes as smoothly as possible, basically a trip leader. I have gone on all of the trips so far. Next year, if I do, 12 trips, like I'm hoping, 12 plus trips, I don't think I'll have that much vacation time. My boss is not going to give me that much time off. So I'm in the process of developing a trip leader program so that people who have come on Lesbifriends trips before, they might be a little outgoing. They might want to take on the responsibility of being a trip leader for the exchange of not paying for a trip, then I'm offering this program moving forward, starting towards the end of the year. So, but you will always have someone well equipped and well versed to lead a trip on the ground. Unfortunately, I can't take care of everybody's airfare, but if you want to have a conversation about booking an arrival, we can do that. As well as I do create a spreadsheet for, again, a spreadsheet for everything. I do create a shared spreadsheet for groups to either carpool together. Sometimes that's an option if, again, a lot of the domestic trips so far have been in the DMV area, very drivable. But even if we're flying somewhere, some people like in Texas, again, for the South Africa trip, people didn't know each other, but they wanted to see if anybody was flying out around the same time, or they might want to book their travel according to someone else who's flying. It's just nice to have a flight buddy, so I connect people in that way as well. Some meals you will be responsible for. Travel insurance. I've definitely been in a place in life where I've not gotten travel insurance, and that has been to my detriment. And so I just make it mandatory, but I don't make you get the travel insurance that I prefer, because some people, they prefer to work with a company that maybe they have experience with. I actually have an annual travel insurance plan because I travel so much. It just makes sense for me to invest that one lump sum. So I didn't want to make it built into all the trips, but you can definitely add that on. I do offer that. Any personal purchases, I'm not going to pay for your souvenirs, but I encourage you to buy them. And any, again, additional personal activities. Okay, I'm going to take a breath as we head over to where we're going for the rest of the year and see if there are any questions that people have so far. If not, that's okay. You can save them for a specific trip or later. Maybe that means I'm doing my job if you don't have questions yet. And we will head over to present Virginia and Greece before we take a short break. And then I do another icebreaker. Okay, so this is the lineup for the rest of the year. We've been to a few places. We're going to a few more. I'm excited about the things to come towards the end of this year, as well as 2025. I'll give you guys a sneak peek. As I've planned half of those trips, I just haven't released them yet, but I'll definitely verbally tell you what's on the roster coming up for next year. So we have a trip coming up in just 2-3 weeks. Virginia, Purcellville, Virginia, which for those in the Maryland area is about an hour and a half from DC. Right after the my annual winter trip, which is the Deep Creek area, people were just really loving the energy, and so I kind of just caught on to that energy, and I wanted to keep the love going, if you will. So I found a local summer space to do a local extended weekend trip. And so we're going to Purcellville, which is not too far from the Shenandoah, Virginia area. These are some of the things we most likely will be partaking in. It is a mostly home-based trip, so we will be doing most of the activities in the space that we are staying, but there is an opportunity to get off of the site and do some zip lining, some whitewater rafting, and stretch your adventurous side a little bit if you should so choose. This is the place that we will be staying. I don't know if you can tell in the picture to the right, but there is literally a guitar-shaped pool. I don't know who thought of it, kind of quirky, but I like it. I actually also did a site visit to this space maybe 2 months ago, and it's beautiful. The house is ginormous, plenty of space to stretch out. And so we're really going to enjoy all of the amenities on site. There, of course, is an itinerary and plenty to do, but there will also be time built in to just, go with the flow, enjoy the hot tub, swim at your leisure as well. So this is the lineup of what we will be doing on this 4-day extended weekend adventure. Typically, I do a check-in later in the day on the day that the trip starts, but as I rented this house the day before for setting up purposes, I will allow people to arrive anytime on Friday that they would like. June 7th is a Friday. However, we probably will not get started with the actual programming until early evening, late afternoon, early evening. So you won't miss anything if you still want to work on Friday and come to this trip. We do icebreakers as a way to get to know each other. We will set weekend intentions. We'll have a welcome dinner and maybe like a game night as well on day one. We always try to start these long weekend trips with a light offering of wellness or movement. And so everything on this is optional, but and maybe you don't want, it's your vacation, so maybe you don't want to wake up at 8 o'clock and do the morning workout, but just know that it's offered for those of you who do like a little movement first thing in the morning. All the meals are included on this trip. It isn't a heavy lunch, it's a light lunch. Breakfast will most likely be served at like 9:30 and it'll be hearty. So because there's built-in time in the afternoon where people might do their own thing, we do offer something to eat, but not super heavy. So something like sandwiches and salad will be served in the afternoon time, and then another hearty dinner, and we do have an on-site chef there. I do ask for dietary restrictions ahead of time. So we can meet everybody's needs. So if you are gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, we'll have something for everybody. The free time on day 2 potentially will be the adventure day. So hopefully if there's enough interest, we'll get out of the house together and do that. We will have a field day on day 3. We'll again enjoy that pool. We'll have a cookout and a pool party one day. But there are 2 hot tubs here, an indoor and outdoor one. There's a whole gaming arcade situation on the lower level of the house. It's a really nice house, so you don't have to leave to have a good time, and you'll be with 20 amazing people. So lots of great conversations and fun to be had. These are the remaining spots left for this trip. Again, there are this trip has room enough for 23 people, and there are about 6 or 7 spots left, depending on how they book. But these are the options. Everything is available on the website for those who are interested in getting in on this trip in a few more weeks. Are there any questions about the Virginia trip? Okay, we will keep it moving. A couple of us might be more interested in going overseas, which is great. Great to know. Okay, so I know a couple people who registered were interested in the Kenya trip. Normally, that's what I would present next. I apologize if that is the only reason you're here. Hopefully, you'll still stay to hear about the additional trips coming up. But unfortunately, Kenya was fast approaching. The cutoff date was going to be June 1st to book that. And unfortunately, due to the interest, it was not feasible to make that trip happen this year. Am trying to make it happen in a future year, because that was a really great trip lined up. But I do like to offer my trips with a minimum of 8 people going, and I just didn't think that we were going to get the 8 people in the next 3 weeks. So we will not be going to Kenya this year, but maybe next year. But we will be going to Greece to a really cool festival, September 8th through the 16th of September. So there won't be a lot of travel opportunities in July and August, but that means more programming for events, because I'll be here and available to do a couple cookouts. I'm in the process of planning a free field day for the community, partnering with a group of gay guys. They're great. They have great energy, and also a trans group to just make it an all-inclusive family fun day in August, as well as I have a pool party coming up. I know we're here for the trips, but just wanted to mention that we do have events as well. So these are all of the things that we will experience and see when we head to Greece. We are actually going for a specific event, but there is going to be just a lot of cultural things to do overall, a lot of really good food to eat. So I would like to mention, I just like to mention that as well. So we are staying at the Olean Village Resort Hotel, which is really a beautiful space to stay at. This is also the home of where the festival that we are attending, where most of the lodging occurs. So we'll be in great company. I had never heard about, I've been to Greece before, and I think when most people think about Greece, they think about Santorini and Mykonos, which is great and beautiful, or maybe even Athens. But I kind of wanted to give someone something that was off the beaten path. So I was approached by a queer women's group based out of California who just started going to this women only festival a couple years ago, that I guess has taken place in Greece for years on the island of Lesbos, which is very befittingly named, right? Like Lesbos, lesbian. Okay. Anyway, hope you got that. I'm not very funny, but I'm pretty literal. But yes, we're going to be staying at where most of the people who come to that festival stay, in this beautiful resort. So I like to mention that. Also, here's the lineup for this 8-day trip. We will arrive. I have everything detailed on the website, so you know where to fly into, what's the appropriate time to fly in. I mean, you can fly in as early or late as you want, but I do like to tell people for planning purposes, this is when we're going to get started. But on the first day, we will have an activity as well as a delicious welcome dinner to get acclimated. We will do some exploring in the village and an Ecoland retreat tour on days 2 and 3, just to get acclimated with the island. These will, outside of what we have planned, you'll hopefully just get to explore the beautiful resort, maybe treat yourself to a massage, and before we kick off with the festival. And so on the day 1 of the festival, because the festival schedule has not been released yet, and I don't want to make this trip, I want to make everybody to make this trip their own. We're going to be doing things as a group, but we might also be doing things as individuals. So when the festival schedule does get released, there's a lot of workshops that are built in. So I would love for us to go as a group to some of them, but if there's an interest that you would like to explore on your own, of course you can do that specifically on days of the festival that we are there. The festival actually, we're there during the height of the festival, but the festival actually extends past our trip. I just didn't want to make this a 2-week trip. I don't know about you, but I can't spend 2 whole weeks in Greece. But for those of us who can, or just want to stay a couple days later, there is that opportunity, and I can build that into your trip, the additional lodging, so that you can stay. There's a lot of free time built in, but we will be doing things as a group again throughout the festival days, as well as before we start the festival. And if you are interested in attending this trip, it starts at $3,200 for double occupancy, and if you prefer a room and a little bit more space to spread out on your own, that would be $3,800. I typically offer a $100 deposit just to secure your spot, and then I do start everyone off on a monthly payment plan, just because a lot of people, it's easier for a lot of people. I am flexible though, if you prefer a bi-weekly payment plan, or if you just prefer to like proactively make payments yourself, we can turn off the automatic payments and you can just be responsible for, paying at your own pace. The trip just has to be paid 30 days before we actually depart. Any questions about Greece? Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Okay, because I said I was gonna take a break. And so part of these info sessions is for you, of course, to learn more about the group, the organization, but then part of it is selfishly for me to learn more about you and who you are, but where you might want to go, maybe also where you've been and might want to stay away from. So I will use this next opportunity of information or of learning one another to ask a couple of probing questions, so we can get to know one another, and so I can do market research. Okay, so the next set of questions would be, so we're gonna do, where is some place that you are interested in traveling to? It can be domestic or international. I'll let you pick up to 3 places because we have a small group, but don't give your entire life wish list, please. So up to 3 places that you are interested in traveling to. If there's a specific reason or event you want to go to, like I had someone who wanted to go to Thailand so they can like do martial arts, then I would love to know that too. And then also let's share what's something when you go to a specific place, like what's your maybe travel style or what you want to experience when, oh, thank you for Marie put in the group where she wants to go. What's something you like to experience? So I'll start to lead by example. So someplace that I really want to go, and it's a domestic location, is Alaska. I feel like I would love to make it to all 50 states one day. Alaska is high on the list. I hear it's great for hiking, a lot of outdoor things. I know a lot of people do cruises in Alaska, but I kind of want to just trek through the land, and just experience that because I feel like a lot of us don't make it to Alaska. And then I also want to go to Turkey. I feel like I'll really like the food and it's beautiful scenery, beautiful architecture. I've heard good things about people in Turkey being friendly. And though I know it doesn't always have the best political news, I feel like if and when Lesbifriends travel goes, we will make sure it's a safe time to travel there, and we are well taken care of. Something I like to do when I travel, or I try to incorporate in personal travel or even when I'm, try to do a trip, for the group, but more so selfishly, personal travel. I like to do a food tour. I feel like it checks things off my list. Like I get to see some different places that I might not see. I get to taste a lot of different foods. I eat throughout the day, like small portions, so I get to just pick. I think buffets are like my favorite place to eat, even though they're not the most sanitary sometimes. So it's kind of like a way for me to get a buffet as an excursion. I also like a cooking class too. I feel like I get to learn something and potentially take something back. In Peru, I got to do a cooking class, go to a market, do a cooking class, taste alpaca, pet alpaca another day. It was weird, but something that I will always remember. Okay, that's me, and I will turn over the floor to someone else who wants to share. Place or places you want to go, and then something you like to do when you travel.
I'll go. So I really want to go to Costa Rica just for the yoga. I'm not in the best of shape, but I love yoga. Domestically, I've never been to a Black gay pride, so I don't really have a preference. Something that I like to do, I like to visit somewhere where the locals go. Like, I want to know where the locals hang out. What do they do?
Thank you for that. Great. I love that. Um, go where the locals go. Are you thinking, so I know that can be overarching, Erica, but are you thinking like to eat, to hang out, to like dance, to shop?
Yeah, to dance. I'm a house head. I love house music, so I like to venture out to where there are like DJ sets whenever I go out of town.
I love that. That's such a great idea. As I'm growing and I'm figuring out what people want, I'm currently in the process of like having just like locals are great, right? But I also have just an LGBTQ area in the travel guide, so we know what queer things to do. And I've been putting in like clubs and like the types of music they listen to as well. So that's good to know that you are interested in that specifically, but also yeah, where the locals go. I guess it's a bonus if they're local queer people as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
No pressure, Bonnie, Sunny, Erica, and if Marie, you want to get off mute, you are welcome to.
Hi. So I am most interested in Spain. I have always wanted to go and planned a trip to Seville, but it didn't happen. So that's of interest. And what brought me to this info session was the trip to Thailand. So I'm really interested in that. I am an excursion girl. I'm definitely a food tour, cooking class girly also. Most of my excursions, well, depending on where we're traveling, are water based. I do love anything that we're doing in the water, jet skiing, cruises, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that's it. And Erica, do you want to say anything?
Same.
Erica,
agreed.
thanks, Tanisha. Thanks, Erica.
So, well, I wrote Philippines, Thailand, Dutch, Caribbean. My main thing is like the cuisine. And the culture is cool too, but definitely trying different cuisine. I'm Jamaican, so I eat a lot of Jamaican food all the time. So I want to try some new stuff, you know?
Thank you, Marie. I don't know if I can unmute you, Bonnie. Sorry. You might need to try that yourself. I think I asked you to unmute yourself. But you can put it in the chat if you can't, if you'd like to. Oh, you already did. Or you will. Thank you. Okay. Bonnie is gonna put theirs in the chat. I don't see it yet, but I'm assuming. Okay. And then thank you for that, everyone. I think we got everyone. Yep. That helps me, as I plan future trips, and even with the ones I'm about to release, there's some wiggle room so that I can include those. I love water too, so I definitely, if there's a beach around, we will be there, or doing something on the water. So that's really good to know. I'll just read Bonnie's because we're still on it. Okay, Bonnie would love to go to Thailand, Turkey, and Uruguay. Ooh, Uruguay. And Greece and Italy were places they enjoyed. I love that you're a solo traveler, and it can be fun being a solo traveler, being with a group too. So kudos to you for potentially trying something new. Okay, thank you for that. All right, we are going to go to Portugal and Spain. The next place we are going, and then we have 2 more after that. I will also keep the chat open. If anybody has questions, feel free to put them in the chat or just interrupt me and I'll answer them in real time. Okay, so Tanisha, I know you said you were interested in going to Seville. And while that's not potentially why you're here, I'm glad that we are going there so I can share a little bit more about.
We're excited to hear about it. We're like, oh.
Oh, good. I'm excited. It's funny. I picked what I think are like the most popular places, for Portugal and Spain, and Seville wasn't initially on my radar, but I'm like, after doing the research, I think it's a great place to stop on the way to Barcelona. And yeah, it's nice to go somewhere off the beaten path. So I'm excited for this trip, especially. I've been to Portugal. I've been to both Lisbon and Barcelona several times, but I think this trip will be extra special because it involves Seville. Okay, so these are some of the amazing things we're going to see when we go to Portugal and Spain in October. We're going to eat really delicious food. We're going to see some amazing architecture, experience some great culture. Spain and Portugal are great places to travel in Europe, and usually a cheaper flight because they're on the coast. So that's also a plus. So for those of you who have been to Europe, you probably know a lot of the hotel structures there are smaller. So that kind of suits our group. Not saying we'll have the entire hotel to ourselves, but the hotels that we are staying in they are boutique style hotels. So we're not gonna get caught up in a Marriott. Even though Marriott's great as a brand, we are going to stay somewhere that's going to like cater a little bit more to us and be more close to, the culture and what that has to offer. So when we go to Portugal, we're going to be staying in My Story Hotel. And then when we go to Seville, we're going to stay at H10 Corregidor. Forgive my pronunciation. I've linked both of those or all of the hotels to the website so you can take a little bit more of a look. But they offer great amenities. They're in very walkable areas in all of the places that we're going. They're safe. They have very nice amenities as well. Modern amenities that that we would be used to. So that's a plus. And then when we go to Barcelona, we will be staying in another boutique hotel called Hotel Rec. This is like a kind of like an more artistic hotel, but still a very nice one. And again, all the amenities that you would want to be comfortable on a trip, even though hopefully we won't be spending that much time in the hotels, right? But we will be comfortable when we are there. So this is our itinerary, just an overview. Of course, there's more specifics, but we're gonna get to Lisbon. We check into our hotel. This is probably one of the only trips. Well, this is the first trip that I'm doing 2 countries in one trip. Portugal and Spain, as you know, are right next to each other, so very easy to get from one place to another. When I can, I will do another trip like this, so you get like 2 places for in one trip, which is nice. I love all the stamps in my passport without taking an extra trip. But when we get there, we'll get settled in. I'm going to encourage everybody to get there between 11 and 2 p.m. so we can all check in around 3 p.m. at the hotel. Transportation will be included. I do ask for people's flight information ahead of time so I can coordinate that. But just one less thing for you to worry about when you get there. So you'll have a driver waiting for you when you arrive. We'll get checked into our hotel, then we'll do a nice tour where we'll get to experience some food and some culture. Days 2 and 3 will be a little bit different, but more half-day tours. So you get part of the day to yourself to explore, but we want to give you kind of like the lay of the land when we arrive. So we're going to actually hang out with a local on day 2 and explore Lisbon, eating, drinking, seeing architecture. Then we're going to get out of the city for a bit on day 3, and we're going to do a coastal tour where we'll get to see a different area of Portugal right outside of Lisbon. We travel to Seville on day 4. We might be a little tired, so we'll give everyone a chance to rest and get settled in before we have our tapas and flamenco experience at night, where we'll get to take in a show and as well as do a little dancing and that will have some built-in free time for you to explore Seville. On day 5, we will do a guided visit of Seville. So we'll have a seasoned tour guide take us around and show us all the important places and all the hidden gems of Seville and get to know that area better. And we'll be taking the light rail. I'm not sure if they call it the light rail, but we'll be taking trolleys. So we'll have like a really culturally immersive experience there. On day 6, there will be some free time for people to explore themselves. I will definitely give all the suggestions for people to take advantage of, including a day-long trip, which is a visit to an olive oil estate, where we'll get to visit with a family-run and operated olive oil farm. We'll get to make olive oil, take some back with us. I mean, I feel like I cook with olive oil probably like several times a week. So I probably will attend this personally. It might just be fun I love cooking. I love eating. So all the things for this optional day tour. Then on day 7, we leave Seville and we go to Barcelona, which is actually my favorite city. I've been there like 4 times. It's so beautiful. There's a lot to see and do. And for me, it's the best of both worlds. It has a good mix of the city and an urban area, but it also has the water, so you can go to the beach and experience the coast as well. There's some great architecture, like you can see in the picture in the bottom middle, Sagrada Familia, which was designed by Gaudi. He's a very famous architect and that's also his park on the right, Parc de Gael. But there's going to be a lot to see architecture-wise, a lot to explore. We're going to do a a private local market visit and a cooking class, so we can take something home with us, some skills to use in the kitchen. Maybe we'll impress someone when we get back. And then another free day to explore before we depart, unfortunately, on the last day. This Portugal and Spain trip starts at 3,700 for double occupancy. And then if you would like a room to yourself, it's going to be a little bit more. Unfortunately, Europe's a little bit more expensive than some of the other places we're going, or also because we're going to 2 countries, so a lot of transportation built in. And I would like to mention that all you have to do is get yourself to Lisbon, and then of course get yourself home from Barcelona, but all of the transportation to the different sites is included. So you don't have to take care of any of that. That will be all taken care of. Just get yourself to Lisbon and we got you from there. Any questions for Portugal and Spain? Okay, we will go to Thailand then, which I'm very excited for because this is my favorite food, favorite type of cuisine. Literally, I was at the airport waiting for my luggage and I was ordering Thai food to be delivered to my house yesterday. I love Thai food, but I'm sure that the country will be equally as amazing to experience, not just the food. So I'm really excited to take a group of people here for this 9-day trip in November. And we're going specifically at this time of year because the weather's great. It's a little bit more affordable, less crowded with tourists. And there's a really cool lantern festival that we're going to get to partake in while we're there, as you can see pictured to the left. So these are some of the things, some of the sites that we will take in, some of the experiences that we'll have. Elephants, as you can imagine, are super important. So we're going to be going to an elephant sanctuary. We're going to be going to some temples. We're going to be going to, their markets are huge in Thailand, especially like river markets. So we're going to experience a couple of those, as well as some really beautiful gardens. We will be staying in 2 different places in Thailand, in 2 different areas. The first is in Bangkok. For the first half of the trip, we will be staying in Maduzi, which is a small luxury hotel and a really great walkable, safe area. A lot of modern amenities. I tried to offer both things that we would be used to, but then stuff that might push the limits and might just be a nice cultural experience. So this is more of what you would probably be used to in the US. And then when we go to Chiang Mai, we will stay at a more traditional Thai accommodation. The second place we'll be staying is called the Rim Resort, another boutique offering with again just great amenities, but maybe the more traditional things that you would expect from staying in Thailand. This is our lineup of activities. We have plenty of excursions, and also some free time built in. On the first day when we arrive in Bangkok, after getting settled, we're going to do a dinner cruise. So we'll get a little fancy and meet the group and have some really delicious food while traveling down the river. We are going to do a full day tour the second day when we get in. So we'll explore the city, but also get out to the country a little bit with a canal tour. Again, I mentioned that rivers and bodies of water are a thing in Thailand. So on day 3, we're going to go to a market, which is actually located on the river, and experience some of that. They literally have everything you can think of on this floating market, from stuff for your house, artwork, food. We'll probably be able to eat there all 3 meals for the day if we chose to. And then we will have a day full of free time before to do our own thing. A lot of people use this opportunity to connect with someone that if they're traveling alone, people usually pair up with someone who's already on the trip. But sometimes it's nice to just do your own thing. If you are an introvert like I am and you just need your own time to recharge, this might be a good day to do your own thing on day 4. Then we're gonna head to Chiang Mai, where we're, after getting settled in our new accommodations, and having a little free time, we will experience a very traditional Northern Thai dinner. The second half of our trip in Chiang Mai, we're gonna do some culturally immersive things, and we're gonna visit a local school and engage with the local children, play some games with them, learn some of their language, and teach them some of ours. We will also do some paper umbrella painting. On day 7, these are both optional things and things that are built in to the day. So we are going to visit another area in Thailand that is specific to the culture of Lana, and we will get to visit their village and take a walking tour and see how specifically they do things in their culture as a subset culture in Thailand. There is an optional add-on to do a cooking dining experience with a Lana family as well, if we should so choose. And then in the evening, we are going to have the opportunity to create a floating lantern, and then experiencing this amazing festival that is a lot of people, both locally and some people internationally, travel to Thailand just to experience and send the lanterns that we create down the river, which will probably be a very powerful experience. Then we have some built-in free time on day 8. Again, there will be options of things that you can add on to your trip, or you can just explore on your own. As you can imagine, food is ridiculously cheap in Thailand, so this would be just a great day to get out and explore and eat all the food. There will be like cooking, there will be a food tour option, add-on option as well. And we will have a wrap-up dinner, farewell dinner before we head home on day 9. And then last but not least, if you were interested in coming to Thailand with Lesbifriends, this trip starts at just under 3,000 for a double occupancy. If you did want your own room, you could pay a little bit more. Of course, this trip is a little further out, so payments are pretty manageable right now. And it just starts with a $100 deposit to secure your spot if you're interested. Just want to mention, I do a 2 to 3 month cutoff prior to the trip closing date. Bali is literally, I have a Bali trip planned in June, on June 20th, and I've had like maybe 7 messages asking if people could come into that trip like within the last 3 weeks. And I'm like, I'm very sorry, but no, we're closed. Unfortunately, I have to like secure, I have to finalize my contracts with certain vendors so we can stick to the pricing that, was promised. And so if you are planning on coming on a trip, I do tell you the cutoff date that you would have to sign up by. So just be mindful of that. Any questions about Thailand? Okay, we can finish off with me sharing the last trip of the year, which is to Belize, December 5th through 11th. I'm trying to figure out what's like a good amount of time to spend on each of these trips. As you can see, the Virginia trip, which is a domestic trip, is like a long weekend. And Thailand, because we're going, across the world, is 9 days. And I thought that it was appropriate to do 10 days for 2 countries. Belize is a little bit shorter because it's a little closer to the States. It doesn't take as much travel time to get there. And I figure 6 days is a good amount of time, 7 days really, is a good amount of time to experience Belize. I actually just went to Belize in February, kind of scoping things out for this trip. So, and I'm really excited. I think this will be a really good way to spend our time when we go to Belize. I try to give themes to my trips, if you will, and you'll see on the website, like I do list like the amount of walking you'll do, or if it's an adventure trip, you know, you'll know like if we're doing ATV riding and gonna be in mud, trekking through mud. This is more of a culturally immersive trip. We're gonna be dancing with locals and hanging out with kids and really getting a full Belizean experience. So we are staying in 2 different areas in Belize, even though we're there for a short of amount of time because it's not a huge place, we can get around pretty easily. The first place we'll be staying is Mr. River Resort, to where we'll have a very luxurious experience. It's very picturesque here. Again, all the modern amenities, and more of a Caribbean feel, if you will, than like, of course, a trip to Europe would be. I love Belize because the culture is, it's indigenous, it's a mixture of Spanish people, natives to the area, Black people that look like me, but they speak English. So I don't have to try to practice my poorly spoken Spanish. I can get along with everyone and communicate very easily there. The second place we will be staying is right on the water at Belizean Dreams, which is located in an up and coming area. The area is specifically called Hopkins. It has this place had really good reviews for the staff and the service, which is one of the biggest reasons I picked it. In addition to being like a great location, we can literally walk to the beach every day, or literally it's on the beach. And it's not, there's not a lot of people that are going to be there. So it's a really nice accommodation for our smaller group. This is what we have lined up in Belize. Of course, when you get there, we're going to pick you up from the airport. We'll get settled in. We'll have a nice group welcome dinner, and because we're in such a serene area, what a better, this is a perfect day to set our trip intentions, whether it's collectively or individually. I know I typically have reasons to travel different places, so I do like to offer, you know, some contemplative, reflective time. On day 2, as on every day, breakfast is included, but we will get out for a little bit of adventure. We'll go to where you can see in the bottom right-hand corner and the top left-hand corner, the Chinan Tunich. I have to really practice these words, guys, so forgive me. So we'll go explore some of their local natural resources. We'll go to caves. We will also explore rainforests and the local surroundings. In addition to visiting a market on the first day, a pretty large and well-known market where we can do shopping and just take in some of the local culture. On day 3, we'll have some leisure time to enjoy the resort where we're staying, and there will be some optional adventurous things we can do, like snorkeling and paddling and doing some water things in a creek area. On day 4, we'll do some morning yoga together. We'll have a traditional cacao experience, and then we will head to our next stop of the journey to Hopkins Village. Day 5 is going to be a full fun day, immersing ourselves in the culture of Belize. We're going to do a dance class, a drumming lesson, and a cooking class, all in, well, throughout the day. But we are going to learn and grow and have a lot of fun together on that day. There will be some free time built into our Hopkins Village stay. So this is a little bit of, you can go at your own pace with a hike, or you can do a zip line tour as an add-on for your free day. I'm always down for a zip line, so that's where I'll be on that free day. And then, of course, we have to say our goodbyes on day 7, and we'll make sure everyone gets to the airport safely. If you were interested in going to Belize with the group, this trip starts at $2,600. Lots of meals are included with this trip as well. The food in Belize is delicious. I just wanted to make sure people had really good food, but you'll be able to explore on your own a little bit as well. Any questions about Belize? And then I just like to wrap up by, of course, thanking everybody for joining. I will email this so you don't have to write it down or remember, but I do, just as a thank you for spending part of your day with me, like to offer a little something off if you do end up booking a trip. Of course, I like to encourage the 2 weeks, but I probably will not change this code. So feel free to use it later down the line. If you go to use it and it's not working, you can just email me and say, hey, Lisa, I was on an info session. Can I have the new promo code so I can get something off my trip? But I will email this to you along with the video link within the next day. So if you have any questions or just want to share it with a friend who couldn't attend, you'll be able to do that. Okay. And I'm done on time.
Lisa, I had a question.
Yes.
I put it in the chat. I was wondering about airlines, if you would recommend, say, taking a domestic airline versus, say, Thai airline, and would you recommend a direct versus stopover flight?
Bonnie, you are in Maryland. Good luck getting a direct flight to Thailand. They do not exist. So
Okay.
our Thailand group has about, I think, 8 people right now. I will cap it at 12. We are currently talking about, we are connecting prematurely as a group because some of us would like to be on the same flight and maybe do like a day or two, a day layover, or like maybe not like a full day where you're staying overnight, but a couple of people who have been proactive in their flight searches did notice like you could spend the day in Dubai, like have 14 hours to experience Dubai for, it might be a little cheaper, right? If you do that. So in the searches that I've done, there have been domestic airlines that we are used to, like United or Delta. But there's also plenty of international ones like Qatar. So
Okay.
I have never been to Thailand personally. I haven't also been on all the airlines. I would say it's a personal preference on your comfort level. Some people like have allegiance. I have allegiance to my pocketbook. So whatever, as well as my schedule. So whatever is going to be more timely
Okay.
for me, I would book. But I just went to South Africa on Qatar. No, Etihad Airlines, and I had a great and I had other travelers who went on Qatar. Everybody raved about both of those experiences. And I think even the lounge is included when you book like regular economy flight on some of these, international airlines. So I think you can have a good experience either way.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
And again, I do connect people like ahead of time so that again, that one person led the group. She's like, I want to connect with other people coming from this area, the DMV specifically area. And I think when I emailed individually the group, and then a few other people were like, yeah, I would love to connect and talk about, you know, that layover or just being on the same flight together. So I do facilitate that because it's just, you know, you're going to be up in the air for 20 something hours potentially, or, you know, have a full 24 hours travel time, maybe more. So it's nice to just know someone, even if they are down the aisle,
Yeah.
that you can connect with.
All right, great. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, I'm gonna say we are done with questions. There might be, I didn't get a chance to share the upcoming trips next year, so I'll do that really quick before I end. Of course, I would love for you guys to travel with us this year, but there are some really great places next year. I'm going to pull up my spreadsheet just so I can also get the dates if anybody's interested in those. Uh, uh, uh. Okay, so I'm shooting for 12 trips next year. Might be ambitious. I really wanted 24, but I'm just like, ooh, can't do it. I have a domestic trip in January that will be in Pennsylvania. This will be my biggest trip yet. I'm gonna have a 60-person trip. It will be a very upscale glamping trip. But we will not be in tents. We will be in very nice we will be in very nice cabin pod facilities. There will also be separate room options. But that's the local trip for January. We're going to Brazil for Carnival in February. The South Africa group has already taken up half of those spots, even though I haven't released the trip yet, but they say they're all coming. We are doing a trip that's going to be February into March. We're going to Nicaragua in April. We're actually staying at a queer women owned, brown women owned boutique resort. Very excited about that. We are doing a cruise in April, at the end of April too. That will be another option, an adult only cruise. We're going to Morocco in May. I'm going to host a local trip to DC in June because World Pride will be here. We were going to Italy in July, but it just might be too hot. So I'm thinking I might switch Ghana to Ghana and Italy. But both of those places for the summer time. Alaska will be in August, Japan in October, Egypt in November, and Iceland in November. My goal is to release all the trips by July. If my website manager can keep up with that, hopefully they will all be there by July on the website. And if you signed up for this, which you did because you're here, I have your email address. And if you opted in for emails, then you will get my monthly newsletter, which will share any new trips that are released. So that's it. That's it I have for you.
Thank you so much, Lisa. It's been an amazing presentation, and I'm excited about the opportunity to travel with you. You will be hearing from us soon.
Thank you, Tanisha and Erica collectively. I look forward to it. And yeah, hopefully I don't think the sun is going to come out today, but I hope that you have a good weekend. I know you're local as well.
Yes, yes.
I think everybody, Bonnie, you're local. Nope, Erica, you are the other Erica
Charlotte.
is in Charlotte. So, but I think it's overcast there too. But hopefully everybody has a good weekend ahead. I hope to see you guys at an event, maybe out in these streets. I'm seldomly out in these streets, but sometimes. Or if we do our paths cross, please come up and introduce yourself to me. Don't be mad if I don't remember from the jump. Just say info session, and that will help. But I hope to meet you all in person one day and connect with you in the future for travel opportunities.
For sure. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. Enjoy your
Have a
afternoon.
great day.
Enjoy your weekend.